Hey, it's the 5th of August. It's Friday, the last day of the work week, 5th of August, 2022. And we're here with your travel news for the day. I'm Rudy Maxa. I'm a travel journalist and broadcaster. I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota, where I live. And Tommy Danielson, my colleague, is in Hawaii, where he swears I can hear the ocean, though I can't. But I'm sure it's out there. Tommy's an expert on frequent flyer miles, hotel points, rental car stuff, everything having a lot of stuff having to do with travel. And he is co-owner with me in maxatours.com, which is a small upscale European travel company. You can find information at maxatours.com. And that's the last commercial you're going to hear. Tommy, I just wanted to start with something close to my heart. Not that I can afford any of these places, but the new list of the 50 best restaurants in the world just came out. And Copenhagen comes in again. You know, it used to come in for years, but this is a new one called Geranium.
They've changed around the scene a little bit there, I've heard.
Yeah. Only in the top 50, there's only 3 U.S. restaurants, and those are one I've never heard of, Atomix, Atomix in New York City. Never heard of it. Have you?
Right.
The other is. Have you heard of that one, Atomix?
I have not. I have not heard of that.
Well, you know the next one, Le Bernardin. That of course has been around forever. So Atomix came in at number 33 out of 50. Le Bernardin came in at 44, and right at the end, number 50 is another new one to me in California. Le Bernardin is obviously in New York, sorry, and in Healdsburg, California, close to you, number 50, Single Thread. Ever heard of that?
Yeah, I heard of that place.
Okay, I don't know that.
Yeah, so it's in Healdsburg, which is kind of North Sonoma-ish. So it's close to a little bit north of Santa Rosa. It's an interesting little snooty little town up in Northern California, and that's the only California restaurant that made it. That's interesting.
I know French Laundry's not on there, and I know you live near Sacramento, so you're not skipping a jump away from Single Thread. But I think you have an obligation to go there and punish your credit card with your wife and try it out.
Yeah, I'll send you the bill. How does that sound?
I haven't gotten mail lately. Best not.
There you go. You haven't got mail lately. That's good. No, I think that it's interesting. I think there's some surprises here on this list. But Geranium is obviously is. I have a friend that was just there and ate a couple of. He had the all from the earth. They have their own gardens and things like that.
Yeah. They used to have, wasn't there one there for a couple of years called Noma that was number 1 for a couple of years?
Yeah, I think they shut down. I think they shut down.
I think they did too. He sort of did. I did my best. I got to go.
Right, something like that. I'm not an expert on this. I'm sorry I didn't do any research on it because it's not really my forte. There's so many great restaurants around here, and these are like the ones who are very time consuming. You got to get a reservation months and months in advance to get into, and it's just not really my style, to be honest with you. And I think that there are a lot of, we ate at a lot of great restaurants the last time we were in Europe right before the pandemic, and including Rolskjök. We had Raimundi's down by Lake Como. We ate at a couple of Michelin restaurants in Burgundy, which I thought was very nice, including what's the name? I don't remember, but there's so many. Getting 1 or 2 stars is easy. We obviously have a lot of 3 stars. I don't know who made this list, but it's a top 50 list. Is that the one?
Yes, it's number 2 is in Lima, Peru, called Central. Then Barcelona, Madrid, Mexico City, Spain, Brazil, Italy, Mexico, Italy. A lot of Italy actually this time around.
Yeah. Let
me see.
I see also Steierek in Vienna. Maybe we should check out that when we go there for the Rudy Max's Christmas markets when we get there.
Sounds good to me. Let's see who made this list up here. I should have had that. It's an annual list.
It is called the 50 Best. If you go to theworlds50best.com.
Yeah.
So I don't know how.
That's all they do. That's the whole website.
Yeah.
That's the whole website.
Yeah. So I think it's you actually vote, right? People go on a website and vote. The best of the best individual awards and things. I have no idea what the story here is, but it obviously is the same list since you've got they've got some serious partners down here, so it looks legit enough.
Yep.
Okay, what else you got?
Hang on, I just want to see here. There is an about us. Let me just see how they determine this. World's has been the annual list. The world's best sponsored by Pellegrino and Aquapana, your favorite water.
World's best still water.
More
for
than
sure.
just a list. It's a celebrated. Okay, the branded list. They don't go into any great length. We'll do a little more research on that and find out who named it. Well, I was sort of interested in this. Marriott, reported its quarterly results the other day. A 70% jump in second quarter revenue to $5.34 billion. That is enormous, and they say that's their occupancy came in just 7 percentage points below pre-pandemic levels at 68% generally. That's pretty high.
Right.
And then Uber had its biggest quarter ever. What did they do here? I got it here. Uber revenue doubled. They earned $364 million last quarter, which after years of never making any money at all and subsidizing rides. And if you've ridden Uber, as I've been riding a lot since I'm not driving a car right now, the prices are way up, and I can see why they're making a profit. They finally just decided to up everything and make some money. Their revenue grew 105% for the 3 months ending in June to $8 billion. Big business.
Yeah. So what about what were the numbers pre-pandemic? Did you look into that?
Not for Uber. I didn't look into it. No. Let me see. Hang on. I've got an article on it. I don't know if I can find it very quickly. You comment that on both of this Uber thing and also the Marriott thing. It's just really important to look here that the reason why we have such vile inflation right now is because of things like this. Because Marriott doesn't have when you say they're close to 3%, just 3% off what they were pre-pandemic. We're seeing the hotel that I'm staying in right now. So I'm in the timeshare part of it, but you can also buy these rooms. So it's a one bedroom suite kind of. So you have a one unit which has a kitchen in it, and then you have a separate bedroom. So there's 2 bathrooms here. So they usually at this place go for about $300 a night, and for a regular hotel room, and $200 to $300 a night here in Kauai, right on in Lihue, it's called the Marriott Beach Club. And the suites go for about $450, the ones that I'm in right now. And now we're seeing inflated prices. So when Marriott says that they're almost up to the levels, they are not counting for the business travel has really not returned. Right.
The only so you're seeing 100% occupancy some places out wherever we are here. In Hawaii, in California, in Florida, in the Caribbean, in Mexico, in holiday destinations. Some of the cities are seeing some rebounds, but New York is very chronically crazy when it comes to. So we paid, when we were in New York for the Travel and Adventure Show in March, we paid, $130 a night, something like that, for each of the Hyatts we stayed at. Jamie was at the Sheraton, you were at the Hyatt Place, I was at the Centric, and I think we paid like $130, $140 a night. So what we're seeing, that revenue increase is based on the fact that they're charging more for their rooms. Yep. For the hot places, they're charging double, they're charging triple, they're charging a lot over, which again leads to inflations. The people who are here that go and stay at these hotels. Yes, there are some people who are staying at these places because they have pandemic money, haven't been taking a vacation in a long time. So they are okay with paying double because they haven't traveled in a while. But that's starting to end now. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the fall and what the numbers are. So I wouldn't read too much into these record revenue. Yes, it's record revenue because you're charging a hell of a lot more than normal, which is, it's the general thing. Now we have seen the car market plummet. Cars are not worked. Car prices are, except for like electric cars where there's a long wait list, car prices have dropped like a stone. There's no over sticker stuff anymore to speak of, and prices are coming back. So at the end of the day, it's and Uber, they need to watch out. I mean, if they start to become more, people are then starting to come back to I see that Frank is commenting Vegas as well. Yeah, Vegas is also that was crazy for a while, and that's now all of a sudden has rebounded. So it's interesting to see how this is going to play out. But we know you also had another article you were talking about demand for air travel, and I've said that about a month ago how that's going to go down. I think it's going to drop like a stone this fall. Yeah.
Before we get just one word before we get into, I want to say one more thing about Uber that it's a shame we weren't doing this commentary a year ago. We just started doing this a couple months ago. This,
Right.
2 or 3 times a week, because the 52-week low for Uber for the stock was $19.90, and it closed today at $32.
Right.
So I'm sure if we'd been doing this a year ago, we would have told everybody to buy Uber, and everybody would be really happy, including me. So,
Yeah,
but I didn't buy any. So what can I tell you?
Joe and Bob Schmo on the internet is the last
Yeah.
2 guys you need to take stock tips from. I got to tell you.
Right, exactly. Well, it did go up 19%, Uber's price, after they reported this first.
Yeah,
profit.
and
Okay.
what's happening here is that the prices are going up. That's why we're seeing good numbers. And corporate greed will end. It's not a good thing right now when there's a massive problem with inflation, because the world can't afford this. Not just in the U.S., but all the world cannot afford to pay these prices these inflated fake prices, because it really isn't. Now demand is caught up to a lot of things, and demand is falling. So I hope that we will see retailers, people go back to that they will get back to the levels that we had before, and not. Obviously supply and demand is going to adjust a lot of that, but yeah, for sure.
Well,
and you were also saying airfare. What was
the
that?
travel booking service Hopper says that they expect airfares to drop dramatically, particularly in September, right after kids go back to school, because they point out that summer saw prices climbing 47% over last summer. That again, another huge uptick. But,
yeah, I mean, prices do go up in the summer and also, I mean, particularly in the European market, you're seeing incredible seasonality where Ryanair are parking planes in the winter and have planes to go, and they literally are boosting the prices in the summer for vacation travel, and we're seeing sky high prices because of labor situations in Europe, and also here we're seeing the airlines struggling to get back. And also maybe they're not so much in a hurry to get back, so they can charge more and fly less planes and have less employees. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I think that not just September, we're going to see a massive sale going in the fall. We've seen Southwest do it. We've seen a lot of airlines do it. I saw American Airlines is having a big sale. And we're also seeing a lot of mileage available if you want to use your miles to fly places.
Yeah, and gasoline has dropped 64% in the last.
Right, we're now back to
we're a dollar above. We're a dollar above the former, our low. So it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still more expensive. You said you had a great deal on some airline flying to where, in the South Pacific or something?
Yeah, I saw Delta today is having a big sale. So if you have Delta miles and want to go to Tahiti, they're only charging 50,000 Sky Miles round trip if you go from California. If you go from San Francisco and LA, respectively, you can fly to Papeete in French Polynesia in Tahiti. Round trip, 50,000 Delta miles.
In coach.
In coach, yes.
That's extraordinary. 25,000 miles each way. That's hard to get a domestic.
25,000 miles each way. It sounds like it sounds in these days that's obviously a great redemption to fly to Tahiti for 50,000 round trip. And there's great availability in March, February, and April of next year. So they have multiple flights. I think 2 or 3 flights a week round trip. And there's availability on all the weeks when I checked about half an hour ago.
Okay.
So that's definitely good. So look up LA, San Francisco to Tahiti, and you should be able to get a 50,000 miles round trip.
All right.
And also another Delta news that they've changed the way that they do boarding for Delta. And I know that you're a big Delta buff and you like them a lot. And now you're going to have to wait. It means that, I get to board before you as a Delta Diamond. How about that?
No, wait a minute. I am a Diamond, and we now have to wait for the first class guys, men and women to board.
When I fly with Delta, class. I always get. I've flown Delta maybe 10 times in the last year and a half, and every single time I fly Delta, they offer me to upgrade in advance before when I said, Tommy, we have a special offer for you since you're a nobody with us. $49. I paid the last time I was in Minneapolis visiting you, and we were doing some business stuff together. I flew back from Sacramento on the nonstop because they're the only ones who fly there, and it was $140, $139 to upgrade for 4.5 hours flight. And I was like, yeah, sure, of course. Well, so that means I will board before you.
Oh yeah, you will if you are in the front of the plane, and I'm not, even though I'm a diamond, big deal guy. Nope. Now I used to be able to board with you, but now I have to wait till the first class guys go in. But speaking of that upgrade, on international flights, it sometimes is worth asking when you check in at the counter for an international flight and you're in coach or premium economy, whether there are any upgrades possible. And I don't know if I told you, Tommy, I don't think I've said it on this webcast at all, but 2 weeks ago, I flew a Delta Air France code share from Minneapolis-St. Paul nonstop to Paris. Well, I was going to Bordeaux, actually, through Paris. And I had a premium, I think I had a coach seat. And just for the heck of it, at the counter, check-in counter, not at check-in counter, excuse me, at the gate counter, I said, are there any upgrades possible? Can I use no, you can't use any miles. But you can upgrade to premium economy comfort for like $140, and we can put you in business class for like $330, $340. Mm-hmm. I took it, a lie flat seat for $340. I mean, that's a ticket that goes for easily $2,500 or $3,500 one way. So I took my $800 coach seat, added another $300, and I had $350, and I had a business class seat. So it's worth asking, because sometimes if they haven't filled up the front of the plane or the economy plus, they'll, for comparative pennies to the retail cost, you can get upgraded. Yeah.
Right. I think so was that on Air France or was it on Delta?
Well, it was a Delta ticket, but a code share with Air France. I booked it using Air France. I booked it on Air France because it was cheaper, but it was a Delta.
Operated by Air France or operated by Delta?
It was operated by Delta Air France, but I did buy a Delta ticket. Let me revert.
Right.
I bought a Delta ticket. That's operated
KLM and Air France, they always do that. They offer it to purchase. You can't use miles or anything like that.
Right.
But you can use your native other miles if you do. And speaking of upgrades, so tomorrow when we fly back, we're on an Airbus 330, so our wide body play on Hawaiian back to Sacramento, and so it's about 5.5 hours ish. Mm-hmm. So they are using a service called, Hawaiian was using a service called Plus Grade. They wanted to purchase the upgrade because it's a live flight seat from here to Sacramento, and on the wide body planes that Hawaiian uses, and they use a service called Plus Grade. It's a company that recently purchased Points, which we were about to do business with a couple of years ago, right before the COVID. And the service lets you bid. And it said, what's the ticket?
Wait a minute. At what point can you start bidding?
You can bid when you purchase the tickets. You get an offer. Okay. Bid on upgrades. So it's like you purchase the upgrade. So buying it the first. So we pay $250 for a one-way per person. And that's with a little bit extra leg room and things like that, I think it was. And it's also a two-seater on a wide-body plane, right? So it's 242. It's an Airbus 330, same as Delta uses. And we didn't feel like, 5.5 hours, 6 hours, it's not really that long. And we was like, it was $1,500 per person to buy the first class or business, or they call it first class. So it's a lie flat seat. And we bid. You have a little scale where you can drag the arrow when we had booked the ticket. So a couple of months ago. And I bid the absolute low ball, which was $249. I put that in. That was what we bid for those seats. And we got it for some reasons. I cannot believe it. So the 50, so we pay, so it was instead of the $1,500 they wanted when to buy on the website, it was $249 per person. So I wasn't expecting, and we were okay doing, because it's a two-seater, there's plenty of leg room. I wasn't expecting it, but that's an interesting gig for sure.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, all airlines. We should maybe do a special on that. All airlines has some sort of an upgrade system, and Lufthansa has it where you can go on the website after you purchase the tickets and buy an upgrade. They have their premium economy. Usually is $150 to $200, which is the first class seat here on any Lufthansa flight is $150 to $200 one way. if it's available, and it is, dramatically better because it's, instead of having, a 242 or 333, it's 222 or 232, right?
332.
So
Yeah,
it's a much better, and it's, it's got 42 pitch, and it's better reclined in a domestic first class seat, and also a footrest. So,
right.
And they also
All right,
offer
well, that's a good
business
idea.
class, usually about $500. SAS offers for $600. You can buy anytime you fly with SAS. You show up at LAX and you say, hey, are the upgrades available? And they have mileage, a long list of SAS members who wants to upgrade on miles. And of course, you come first. You go to the counter at check-in and said, hey, I want to do business class. What do you got? And it's $600. And premium is $200.
That's great. All right. Well, that's
all right. What else you got?
That's all. I think that, well, Virgin Galactic, this is not a major deal, but Virgin Galactic just announced it's going to open a New Mexico campus for its astronauts. So when we're all ready to start flying, into space with Virgin Galactic, we may be, I don't know if they're going to turn that into a terminal for passengers or not, but that's about all I got. I thought I'd just take the weekend off. Maybe we talk Monday.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining. And
thank you. Remember, we're coming to you. We are doing this segment on the 5th of August, on Friday of 2022. So the information you hear, if you're watching it later on Facebook or YouTube, take that into consideration. Have a lovely weekend.
Yes, sir. Everybody, thanks for joining.
Bye-bye.